Chapter 15 Some Natural Phenomena. In the previous class you have learnt about storms, winds and cyclones. All can be categorized as natural phenomenon. A natural phenomenon is anything that occurs on its own in nature without any kind of human intervention. Some natural phenomena can be destructive such as cyclones, thunderstorms, lightning and earthquakes. However, there are some ways with which we can protect and prepare ourselves from these natural disasters. Lightning. Have you seen sparks on an electric pole when wires become loose? This is very common when wind is blowing. You have also seen spark when a plug is loose in its socket. Lightning is an electric discharge or an electric spark that occurs in nature on a major scale. It is caused by the accumulation of charges in the clouds. It can be deadly and cause the destruction of life and property. In ancient times people were unaware of the cause of lightning and hence they were scared of it. Nowadays, scientists have evolved some precautions that can help us prepare and protect ourselves from this natural phenomenon. Sparks that the Greeks knew about. The Greeks were already aware of the electric charges from 600 BC. They knew that when amber, a type of resin or synthetic polymer, and fur are rubbed together, then amber can attract light objects like hair. Similarly, woolen clothes or polyester clothes also attract hair and can produce a little spark or crackling sound when they are taken off from the body. This is because of electric charges. Benjamin Franklin was an American scientist who in 1752 discovered and proved that lighting and spark produced from these clothes are all same things. Let us perform some activities to understand the nature of electric charges. But recall first what you might have played as a game. When you rub a plastic scale on your dry hair, the scale can attract very small pieces of paper. Charging by rubbing. When we rub two objects each other, they get charged due to a transfer of electron between them. For example, if we rub a rubber balloon with animal fur, the balloon is made up of rubber attracts the electron from the animal fur. This results in rubber having an excess of electron while fur having a shortage of electrons. In the same way, if we rub a plastic comb with dry hair, the comb acquires some charge. Let's try to charge some other objects that are familiar to you. Types of charges and their interaction. Let's summarize the observations. A charged balloon repelled a charged balloon. A charged refill repelled a charged refill. But a charged balloon attracted a charged refill. Does it indicate that the charge on the balloon is of a different kind from the charge on the refill? Can we say then that there are two kinds of charges? Can we also say that objects having the same kind of charges repel each other while objects with different kind of charges attract each other? For instance, when a glass rod is rubbed with silk cloth, it becomes positively charged while the silk cloth becomes negatively charged. It is observed that when a charged glass rod is brought near a charged plastic straw rubbed with polythene, there is attraction between the two. What do you think would be the kind of charge on the plastic straw? Your guess that the plastic straw would carry a negative charge is correct. The electrical charges generated by rubbing are static. They do not move by themselves. When charges move, they constitute an electric current. You have been reading about electric current since class Y. The current in a circuit which makes a bulb glow, or that makes a wire hot, is nothing but a motion of charges. Transfer of charge. The aluminium foil strips receive the same charge from the charged refill through the paper clip. Remember that metals are good conductors of electricity. The strips carrying similar charges repel each other and they become wide open. For this an electroscope is used. It is a device which can test if an object is charged or not. Abraham Bennett developed a gold-leaf electroscope in 1787. Thus, we find that electrical charge can be transferred from a charged object to another through a metal conductor. Touch the end of the paper clip gentle with hand and you will find a change in the foil strips. They come back to their original state. Repeat charging of foil strips and touching the paper clip. Every time you will find that the foil strips collapse as soon as you touch the paper clip with hand. Why does it happen? The reason is that the foil strips lose charge to the earth through your body. We say that the foil strips are discharged. The process of transferring of charge from a charged object to the earth is called earthing. The story of lightning. Do you know what is lightning? It is a charges produced by rubbing. During a thunderstorm, the hot air moves upwards while the raindrops fall downwards. This leads to a separation of charges in the atmosphere. As a result, negative charges get accumulated in the lower edges of the clouds while positive charges accumulate at the upper edges. The ground is accumulated with a positive charge all over. These charges begin to multiply due to the increase in winds and rainfall. Although the air is a poor conductor of electricity due to heavy charges, it is unable to restrict the electric flow after some time. The negative charges and positive charges meet, which results in the production of electric sparks in the form of a streak of light accompanied by a sound. The streak is called lightning and the whole phenomenon is called electric discharge. This electric discharge can occur between two or more clouds. The process of electric discharge can occur between two or more clouds, or between clouds and the earth. Today we need not get frightened by lightning like our ancestors did. Now we understand the basic phenomenon. Scientists are trying hard to improve this understanding. However, lightning strike could destroy life and property. It is, therefore, necessary to take measures to protect ourselves. Lightning safety. One should not stay at an open during lightning and thunderstorm. Hence, as soon as we hear any alert about lightning or thunderstorm, we should rush to a safe place such as house or a building. If somebody is there and one should read inside the safe place until the storm lasts. A car or bus, they should stay inside and keep all the doors and windows closed. Do's and don'ts during a thunderstorm. Outside, one should not stay in an open place such as an open vehicle like a motorbike, tractor, or open fields, elevated plates, or tall trees. Carrying an umbrella is not at all a good idea during thunderstorms. If in a forest, take shelter under shorter trees. If no shelter is available and you are in an open field, stay far away from all trees. Stay away from poles or other metal objects. Do not lie on the ground. Instead, squat low on the ground. Place your hands on your knees with your head between the hands, figure 15.6. This position will make you the smallest target. Inside the house, lightning is an electric discharge, hence one should stay away from electrical wires, telephone, cables and metal pipes during a thunderstorm. One may use a cordless phone or a mobile phone in an emergency. It is safer to use mobile phones and to call up a person. However, it is not wise to call up a person who is receiving your phone through a wired phone. Bathing should be avoided during thunderstorms to avoid contact with running water. Electrical appliances like computers, TVs, etc. should be unplugged. Electrical lights can remain on. They do not cause any harm. Lightning conductors. In order to protect building from lightning, a lightning conductor device is used. When the building is being constructed, a metallic rod having more than the building is placed in the walls of the building. One end of the rod is kept out in the air and the other is buried deep in the ground, figure 15.7. The rod provides easy route for the transfer of electric charge to the ground. The metal columns used during construction, electrical wires and water pipes in the buildings also protect us to an extent. But do not touch them during a thunderstorm. Earthquakes. You have already know about thunderstorm and lightning. In the previous class you have learnt about cyclones. These natural phenomena can be predicted by meteorologists. These natural phenomena can cause large-scale destruction of human life and property. The weather department can warn about a thunderstorm developing in some area. If a thunderstorm occurs, there is always a possibility of lightning and cyclones accompanying it. So, we get time to take measures to protect ourselves from the damage caused by these phenomena. There is, however, one natural phenomenon which we are not yet able to predict accurately. It is an earthquake. It can cause damage to human life and property on a huge scale. A major earthquake occurred in India on the 8th of October 2005 in Uri and Tangadhara towns of North Kashmir, figure 15.8. Before that earthquake occurred on the 26th of January 2001 in Bhuj district of Gujarat. What is an earthquake? What happens when it occurs? What can we do to minimize its effects? These are some of the questions which we shall discuss below. What is an earthquake? Earthquake is a natural phenomenon that occurs as sudden shaking or rumbling of the earth's surface. It occurs or lasts for a very short span of time. The main cause of earthquake is disturbance inside the crust of the earth. Earthquakes occur all the time, all over the earth. They are not even noticed. Major earthquakes are much less frequent. They can cause immense damage to buildings, bridges, dams and people. There can be a great loss to life and property. Earthquakes can cause floods, landslides and tsunamis. A major tsunami occurred in the Indian Ocean on the 26th of December 2004. All the coastal areas around the ocean suffered huge losses.